Hi everyone, Rene Bastarache here, and today I'm going to speak to you about why the law of attraction doesn't always give you what you want. Now, what's the law of attraction? Probably the basic tenet of the law of attraction is thoughts become things. I mean, there's been movies out on it. You'll see videos all over the internet. They make it seem pretty simple. If you think about something, you should get it, okay? But so many times I get people writing in and calling to me or just in conversation saying, oh, I've tried that stuff. It doesn't work. I think about wealth and I'm not rich yet. Or I think about being healthy, but look, I'm still sick. Or I'm always thinking about having a great relationship and my relationship's not that great. So I hear that constantly. Why is that? And how can that be changed? That's what I'm going to speak to you about today. So here's why. There's a little more to this concept of the law of attraction than you may have thought about. Let's get into this a little deeper, but before I do, I want to ask you a question. This is a very serious question, so think about it. What do you want? It's very important. In order for the law of attraction to work for you, you need to know what you want. So what do you want in detail? Have you thought of it? Have you placed your order? Now here's what I mean about have you placed your order. Imagine yourself going to a nice restaurant. You sit down at the table at the restaurant probably at about 4 o'clock in the evening waiting for your dinner. And everyone's being served, people are coming in, people are leaving, they're having great food, but you haven't been served yet. More and more people are leaving. The restaurant's getting ready to close, and you haven't been served yet. Why is that? You haven't placed your order. So just like in a restaurant, if you don't place your order with the universe, the law of attraction isn't going to give you anything. So a lot of people say, oh, I want to be wealthy, but it's not happening. Well, what exactly do you want? You want to be wealthy. Or people say, I want more money. Well, they find a penny on the ground. There's more money. So what do you want? How much do you want? I want to be healthier. Well, you could be healthier today than yesterday. But if the thing is, rather than just being healthier, you want to heal from a certain situation, what is it? You need to be specific. So that's one of the first things to know. Now, next, okay, here we go. You have about 64,000 thoughts a day. Think of that, 64,000 thoughts. Some of those are positive and some of them are negative thoughts. Now, if you only had one thought a day or one desire, it would be like shooting an arrow. You have the bow and arrow and you pull it, you look at your mark, shoom, you shoot and you hit your target. So if you only had one thought and that's all it was, you would always get it. But you have 64,000 thoughts a day. So imagine that the target is moving now. So here's what happens. People will take the arrow, they'll aim it at their target, shoot. They miss their target. They get discouraged and they go, this darn thing don't work. So that's the first thing you got to look at. You have a moving target. Plus, your thoughts are always changing. So in life goes on, so your target's always moving, life is always happening and evolving, and your thoughts are changing too. You have 64,000 thoughts a day, so you're all over the place. So now it's kind of like trying to shoot a moving target from a moving vehicle. So it's getting even harder. You know, you're like this with your bow and arrow going, will you stop moving? And you're shooting and you're shooting, you try and you try, and you still keep on missing your mark, so you get discouraged. Now let's pause for a moment because before I go further, I need to explain to you several traits of the subconscious mind. The first one is, now this is the subconscious. We're not talking about the law of attraction. One of the main traits of the subconscious mind is that you will always get what you focus on. Okay? Not just a brief thought, but what you focus on. It's like your subconscious mind is an out-of-control genie. Okay, and you know a genie just grants wishes. But this is an out-of-control one. Everything you focus on, it's granted, it's granted. Your wish is my command, it's granted. Now imagine if that were really to happen, okay? You go, I want $1,000,000. Poof, it's granted. But I don't know if I deserve it. Poof, I take it away. I don't know. I don't really make that kind of money. Poof, it's gone again. And, well, I'd like to have a new car. Poof. Oh, I can't afford to keep that. Poof. You see what I mean? All these things, you have so many thoughts that you have positive thoughts, you have negative thoughts, you have opposing thoughts. So it's kind of like you're trying to progress. I want this, I want this. No, I can't do it. I want this, oh, I'm not worthy. And you're trying to get over there, and every time you start getting there, something negative takes it away. Oh, I'm getting it, I'm getting it. Oh, my parents said I'll never amount to anything. Oh, I'm getting it, I'm getting it. So can you see what's happening? It's so hard to focus on one thing because you have so many focuses going on. And the subconscious mind will grant each and every one of them. So you need to be able to focus on what you want and not on what you don't. So that's a big one. Now hold on, there's a couple more. One of the second most important traits of the subconscious mind is it does not understand negative. So if you're focusing on, I don't want to be broke, I don't want to be broke, where's the focus? It doesn't understand negative, so all it's hearing is want to be broke, want to be broke. You see? So you might be sabotaging yourself. When Raluca speaks to people, she speaks to a lot of people counseling about different situations. But if she's speaking to somebody, let's say, about relationships, and she asks the person, what do you want? And he says, I don't want a divorce. What's he's focusing on? Getting a divorce. So that's exactly what he's going to get. You ever heard people say, you always get what you focus on not wanting, okay? When you say, oh, I hope he doesn't see that, he sees that. You know, a kid in school, I hope the teacher doesn't see my notes that I'm hiding. That you're going to see it because you're focusing on what you don't want, and it doesn't understand negative, so you're drawing that to you. Kind of like when a little child has a glass. Oh, I don't have a glass here, but I'm going to take this bottle. Okay, imagine, I'll put it upside down. Imagine this was a crystal glass filled to the top, your best crystal with water. And your child, 4-year-old child, is walking across the hard, let's say, cement floor to you with it, and you go, don't drop that. Boom, they drop it. Because when you say don't drop that, the mind immediately focuses on, what should I not do? Drop that, okay? And if you don't believe that, do something you shouldn't be doing in the corner of the room. And when your husband or wife comes home and they walk through the room, you say, don't look. They're going to look right at you, okay? The subconscious mind does not understand negative. So when you're focusing on what you want, focus on what you do want. In the case of that person that was speaking to Raluca, he says, I don't want a divorce. What he needs to say is, I want a wonderful relationship. Okay, somebody with money, don't say, oh, I don't want to be broke. I don't want to lose my business. I want to have a very successful business. I want $100,000. Whatever it is, what do you want? Whenever you're focusing on something negative, say that to yourself. What do I want? And it'll change the whole situation. Now, the next trait of the subconscious mind is that the subconscious mind only understands the now. Okay? The conscious mind has past, present, and future. The subconscious lives in the now. There's only one time, and it's here. I take another deep breath, and it's now. And it's now, because that first deep breath was 2 breaths ago. Okay? The conscious mind understands it, but to the subconscious, it's not a linear life. It's a now life. So when you say, I want to be healthy, the subconscious mind says, okay, I'll wait. When you're ready to be healthy, let me know. Think of that. I want to be wealthy. Okay, let me know when you're ready. This is why you hear a lot of people say, I am wealthy. I am healthy. I have a wonderful relationship right now. Because that's what the subconscious mind understands. Think about it. When you get healthy, let's say you're sick and you're sick for weeks. Then one moment you wake up in the morning and you're healthy. Okay, the health didn't happen over the weeks because you were sick. It's just in a moment, boom, I realize I'm healthy. Okay, oh, I want to be wealthy. I want to be wealthy. I want to be wealthy. Okay, you scratch your megabucks tickets and, oh, I'm a millionaire. Okay, all that time you were thinking about it for weeks, you weren't ready. But when you bought the ticket and you scratched it and there it was, you became a millionaire. Okay, so the millionaire became in a moment. It was the now. So that's what you need to think about. Whatever it is you want, I am healthy, I am wealthy. Now, what I always get when I say that, people go, but I'm lying because I'm not healthy. No, you're not. You're lying all the time, okay? Because when you say, let's say right now you have a few bills coming up and you think you're having a hard time, and I tell you to say you're wealthy, and you go, but I'm lying because I have bills. Okay, so what do you want to say? Do you want to say I'm broke? Because that's lying too. You're not broke because you only have a few bills. You still have food. You still have a place to live. You still have clothes you can put on your back. Your family's well fed. So you're not broke. A part of you is. So if a part of you is, you're still lying about the rest. So if you say I'm wealthy, it's only a part of you that's not wealthy because you have a wonderful family. That's wealth, isn't it? Wealth doesn't just have to be money. You have a nice place to live. You have your health. You have your happiness. You have your job. You have this computer so you can watch me right now. So yeah, you're wealthy, okay? I'll pump myself up that way. So you're lying either way. So if you're going to lie either way, why not do it in your benefit? I am healthy, I am healthy. So now you can say that and you can believe it because belief is a very important part of the process. So here's how we put it all together, okay? First of all, I said, you always get what you focus on. Always, always out of control genie, okay? Then the subconscious mind does not understand negative and everything has to be in the now. So instead of, with all this in mind, instead of taking an arrow and shooting and hit and miss like you're doing in the past and making the different mistakes of saying, I want something or I don't want to be broke, what you're going to do now is put the bow and arrow down. Forget about just taking a shot. I mean, we still have a target. I want you to imagine, I guess you could say the crosshairs, okay? If you ever looked in the scope of a rifle or, if you're in the military, you probably looked in the scope of, heat-seeking missiles or tanks or whatever. They have this little crosshair that goes around like this, okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to put a crosshair on the screen. So with the crosshair, whatever your crosshair is on, whatever it's pointing at, whatever's right in the middle of that cross, when you pull your trigger is what you're going to hit. Now, your target moves. So what we're going to do, we're going to call it a guided missile. What's a guided missile do? Let me find a missile here. Okay, so here's my missile. So here's the guided missile. I'm trying to shoot it right at you. Okay, so be careful. I don't want to get you in the eyeball. So you're my focus. You're what I want to hit. So as I fire it, I can do it. I know I can. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. You see, now it's going off. But I have the crosshair. So wherever I'm putting my crosshairs, it moves. All I need to do if I go off is bring my crosshairs right back to you. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Oh, I'm not worthy. Oop, bringing the crosshairs back. You see what I mean? And should I do that? Oh, and I bring my crosshairs right back. Now, the thing about it, my thoughts are moving it around, but you're moving too. So as you're moving, I can still aim my crosshairs at you. Now, years ago, give you an example, I was in the military, okay? And in the military, one of the things I did is I specialized in a thing called the dragon in the toe. The dragon in the toe, the toe was a tactically operated weapon or something like that. It was an anti-tank weapon. I mean, it was awful fun to shoot when we practice on, empty tanks. But it was a tank weapon, and the bullet for this thing, oh, gee, it must have been, I'd say, well, I can't go that far, but about 4 feet long and about this wide. And the back of it had the spool of wire. And it must have, I think it was like 2 miles worth of wire because this thing can go 2 miles far. So imagine a guided missile with a little, not hair thin, but a little bit thicker than hair, of wire coiled up, connected to my controls. So the way we would do it, okay, is I'd have the control, and when I would fire, let's say there's a tank that's moving. As I fire, all I'm doing is looking through my crosshairs, like when I was looking at you. I'm looking through the crosshairs, and I'm seeing the tank moving. And what I do is I move the crosshairs with the tank as it's moving, and you would hear these little rockets in the back of the missile, okay? And they sounded like popcorn. As they're going down range, you'd hear them going pop, 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 pop. And as it would go pop, 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 it would get a signal from my control, and it would move the missile different ways. Now, I'd shoot this thing, let's say a mile in practice, and you could see the missile going like this. So coming to you, and it would be going like this. And eventually, if I kept my crosshairs on you, bang, okay? It would always hit the target. That's the definition of the law of attraction. Isn't that easy? It's a wire-guided missile. So you need to have your focus on what you want. How long do you focus? Until you get it, until you hit your target. You don't stop. I have a thing that can bore, I think it's 27 inches, bore through 27 inches of the hardest steel made. Think of that. Then it would blow up. So if I don't get it, oh, I feel guilty, I bring it back, oh, I feel, I'm not worthy, oh, I feel, and I just give up, say, oh, heck with it. Guess what? That's going to go and it's going to hit another target. Your focus will always, always, always hit something. So somebody else might get your money or something else is going to happen, but if you had just kept with it, you would always get what you wanted because you always get what you focus on. So the trick is to continue to focus, but bring your focus back. Think of a wire-guided missile. So I want to pass. I am passing this test. Okay, I am passing this test with 100%. 100%. Oh, I'm not worthy. 100%. 100%. I don't know if I could do it. 100%. You see, until you take the test and you get the 100%. Not just say it, not just think about it, but believe it. Focus on it and believe it. And that's the whole concept of what we call making course corrections. As it's going on its course down to you, you correct it if it goes off track until you hit it. So always think to keep your crosshairs on the target, and that's the key until you get it. If you keep your focus and never give up, you'll always hit your mark. So right now, I'm focusing on you, and I have my crosshairs right on you. And I'm going to keep my crosshairs on you and focus on you until you subscribe and share this video with someone else who you think can use it. And of course, everyone wants something, so everyone can use it. So remember, even when you leave this video and walk away, I'll still be focusing on you. So why not do it now? Thanks for watching and have a great day.